Welcome to Truth or Raps. I just realized as that was counting down that the dollar bills were over there. That's sort of an interesting part of the mosaic behind me, though, isn't it? Um, and yeah, I do have a record player, but the most I have in there right now might be a CD in that part of it. And I also have toothpaste and a Kindle. But yeah, I only have a couple of records. The thing with records is I'd probably love to buy them. Like I'm probably almost squarely in the crosshairs of the marketing department for anyone selling records. But even though I spent like the past few years fairly obsessively buying new music albums and listening to them, it has tapered off a little bit recently. Um, yeah, I think I've literally bought hundreds of albums over the past few years. I'm gonna get you an exact count if you want one, or as about as exact as it's going to be. And you might say, how the hell are you going to get an exact count? I'll tell you how. I'm going to my website, mattthoughts.com. I'm searching rap versus metal. Okay, I see the battle between rap and metal round 2, but I'm looking for round like 4 or 5 or whatever the last round is. Oh, looks like 5. Rap wins. Okay, so first of all, and I have the quote from Aesop Rock, the great quote, one of my favorite Aesop Rock quotes. And by the way, do yourself the favor, if you have never heard this performance of it, whether you're an Aesop Rock fan or you've never heard anything by Aesop Rock, check out his live in Asheville a cappella performance of Mars Attacks on the CD version, whatever CD version I got. Like it was like the MP3s. The track title was just a cappella, but the a cappella of Mars Attacks at Live in Asheville, Aesop Rock, in the live performance of it. The regular song is great, but that live performance, he's like summoning fucking spirits with that. And anyone who's listened to Mars Attacks, you might know just sort of offhand how incredibly poetic the first verse is, but if you don't really have a strong feeling about it, but you have listened to Mars Attacks, but you haven't listened to this live concert performance, it's great stuff. And so he ends the verse in the concert performance. This is like me doing a fucking spoiler for Aesop Rock, rapping a verse live at a concert, but he ends the verse in the concert performance. And this is actually one of the story songs. I talked about story songs, I think, in a prior video. This is one of the story songs where the story is so in-depthly layered, and this is by Aesop Rock, and I think I mentioned, generally even his story songs can get old more quickly than non-story songs do. By him or by others, it seems like story songs wear themselves out more quickly because generally maybe you get the sense of the story and then it feels like you've heard it pretty much the second time you listen to it. But with Mars Attacks, the story is presented in enough of sort of a freewheeling, almost literary, really indeed literary, omniscient point of view where Aesop Rock is switching from this part of Mars attacking the world to that part of Mars attacking the world to this impact on culture to that impact on society, that impact on people. And then he ends the verse. He goes all the way through this and he's really playing it up in the live performance too. He goes all the way through this and at the end it's like, oh, we're going to make it. Maybe the people are going to prevail over the Martians that are attacking them. Aesop Rock says, they shot me in the face, Mars wins. Perfect. They shot me in the face, Mars wins. I think it works best within the couplet that it's in, so actually let's stretch this out a little more before I get back to what I was talking about, because as you may know from seeing any other video by me, I tend to follow a tangent, and it works out pretty well. Okay, yeah, here we go. I think these lyrics are wrong, so I'm going to say what I remember of it and what I think is right here. I am human, hear me rise above material and carnal sin. They shot me in the face, Mars wins. Or actually the last stanza, let's do that. My movement soothes any space in... My movement soothes... No, this is bullshit. I am going to find... These are terrible... Some lyrics are better than others. If you like find bad lyrics, just check like Genius or something, which is a horrible and obnoxious site, but they tend to at least have better lyrics than like just some of the incredibly off, like just incredibly inaccurate lyrics you might find somewhere else. Okay. Well, in any case, something along the lines of, fuck y'all, let's do this shit. My movement soothes anti-space invader practice. Stomped up to enemy like, hey, what now, bitch? I am human. Hear me rise above material and carnal sin. They shot me in the face. Mars wins. They shot him in the face, guys. Yeah, come on now. Okay, but now we are going to transcend that and actually get to what I was talking about before, which is it. So this was the amount of metal CDs that I had on or around February 24th, 2022 that I had in my iTunes. Oh, do I even have it? Oh, wait a second. Oh, well, yeah, this is the amount of metal albums. 113. That's as of... I had gotten some in the intervening period between going to jail and that time, but I hadn't gotten all of them, so, well, you'll see. You'll see how many more I have now. So this is just to show how squarely in the mark I would be as a marketing target for agents in the marketing spectrums. Okay, let's see. In it. Okay, we have 155, or no, 155. We have 113 from February 24th, 2022, and we have 369 rap albums. So rap wins being rap. I have way more rap albums that day. 369 rap albums in my iTunes versus 113 metal. But see how fast metal has been in the process of catching up in the process of this. In it with. Okay. How many metal albums do I have? Currently, my iTunes, 260 metal albums. More than doubled. I said something like 133 or something. If it had been that, it would have been less than doubled, but it is 113 albums on the February 24th, 2022 side, and then 260 metal albums since then. So I've been obsessively buying metal albums. I've been buying metal albums a lot, but it is not the case that I buy a lot of records, because records are just so very unattached to the computer, and that's even a record. That record player literally lets you burn a CD from the record, and I've done it. But of course, it's like you're clicking the button each time you want the track to end and the next track to start, which is sort of ingenious. So it starts recording, and that starts at track 1, I guess, and then you click it to end track 1, start track 2, and it keeps going, I think. And then you click it to end track 2, start track 3, and it keeps going, and then you may have to flip it over, and, you know, you might be able to pause, like, end one track, but, like, not start it again. Maybe you have to click it to end a track and then click it again to start it again. But in any case, it's just like, Of course, your times are probably going to be a little off from what the CD is, like almost surely, and mine were, I think, actually pretty badly in one or two cases. Your times are probably going to be off from the CD, and it's just like where I'm going to be listening to the music most is like on headphones on like my phone, having downloaded it from like Google Drive, uploading it from my computer, or well, really, or that's mostly it. Or maybe on the CD if I have a CD and like I popped it in here, maybe. Somewhat rarely I would, but I might. It might be me listen. I might listen to it on the computer on iTunes, but generally it will be on iTunes or on my phone. Generally, that I'll be listening to it. Whether I'm going for a run, whether I'm in my car and I'm driving and I have the Bluetooth going from the phone to the car, like whether I'm sitting down, whether I'm walking around, you know, whatever I'm doing, I'll probably be listening to the music. And I listen to a decent amount of music. I take an album at a time, you know, like right now I'm listening, I'll tell you what, right now I'm listening to The Legacy by Testament. Prior to that, I was listening to, this is in one particular app, I was listening to, and that's how I keep it going. I have one CD going, like, in one app, and I can have a different CD going in a different app. So, like, basically a different venue for it. So prior to the Testament CD, in the same app, I think, I was listening to Those Whom the Gods Detest by Nile. But I was also listening to Gravestones by Tom MacDonald in the other app. And prior to listening to Gravestones, I think I might have been listening to, I think it might have been, I listened to Armored Saint, Symbol of Salvation, I think maybe before the one between what would have been that and Gravestones. What was that? Oh, I think I might have been listening to like Amon Amarth or something. Was I? I think I might have been listening to Deceiver of the Gods by Amon Amarth. But in any case, like this has just been like the past few days or so. Like, I love music, and so if there's anyone, and I like collecting stuff, you know, clearly even just like with this YouTube channel and stuff, I like having the videos like collected there, and it's like, you know, here are all the videos, and I like, you know, even with my websites, the mattthoughts.coms, you know, ask me and I'll give you a full list. I like having like the collection of posts and like having it there for posterity. I like buying all those metal albums, clearly 260 now rather than 113 from February 24th, 2022, which was just over 2 years ago. And then how many rap albums do I have? And I have the genre as hip-hop/rap. But rap is the music. Hip-hop is, from what I understand, hip-hop seems to be the overall culture, and rap is one of like the 5 elements of hip-hop culture, or something like that. And so, and I think this is closer than it sounds maybe to someone who hasn't heard of anything like this and thinks I'm just making it up or something, unless you really do know the realer information about it culturally. But rap is the music. And so back in the day, people would say, like, this was back in like the earlier 2000s or something, like I'd be listening to rap with my friends or something, and one of my friends who ended up going to Yale, I've mentioned him before, I won't say his name or really any identifying information, but one of my friends, it might have been him or it might have been someone else, but I think it might have been him, said like, oh, I listen to hip-hop, I don't listen to rap. And like, so hip-hop was sort of to designate like maybe more serious rap by like more serious rappers, rapping with like more introspective lyrics maybe, or just about like deeper subjects, or just rapping with a higher level of skill. I mean, you know, you listen to something by Army of the Pharaohs, I think he would have, if it was him or whoever it was, I think that person, it would have been the case that they would have approved of the Army of the Pharaohs album, or at least like Violent by Design by Jedi Mind Tricks. And if you listen to that stuff, maybe a little less so with Violent by Design, but with like the Army of the Pharaohs stuff, at least with some of it, it's just like them throwing out like funny lines like, this is how much I'm gonna get you, and like, this is what I'm gonna do to you when I get you, and like, it's nothing like it's nothing like the wording that I just did, but like, just go check out the song Battle Cry. it's a lot of fun, and it's like really well written and stuff, but it's probably shallower than like 50 Cent. And I like a lot of 50 Cent stuff, but it's like, or it's probably shallower than like a lot of the rappers that you would consider shallow, because it's really just, battle raps. It's just saying like, I'm gonna get you over and over and over again in 1,000 creative ways, and it's fun.